Hey, this is Everyday Superpower, and the question we're going to tackle today is, why does she play with her hair when I speak to her? What does it mean when she plays with her hair? What should I pay attention to? Is she flirting with me? If you're interested in the answer and you enjoy the videos I do and you want to keep in touch and follow the videos I put out, please click the subscribe button. Moving on. First and foremost, what I want you to pay attention to is that playing with the hair is a pacifying behaviour. And what I mean by a pacifying behaviour is that it's a soothing behaviour. This behaviour in particular links to childhood, okay? So there's a possibility that an individual does not pacify through this means, but through a separate means. This behaviour may be linked to the soothing gesture a parent or other may provide to a child when they're younger. So especially with girls, a mother may massage or rub or stroke the hair whilst in embrace, okay? And as that individual grows up, they still are linked, wired up to that experience through the self-pacifying behaviour of fondling the hair, okay? So you'll experience this behaviour in both times of happiness, joy, and the counter opposite of times of nervousness, anxiety, and even sadness. In times of happiness, it can be used as a amplifier to further boost positive endorphins through the regression to the childlike state the parent provided while stroking the hair, alongside a literal massaging of the nerve endings that reside on the scalp of the head connected to the hair. The stroking and massaging and the fidgeting of the hair in regards to a nervous, anxious or sad state can be used as a self-soothing device, and that's why we call them pacifying behaviours. So if you were to refer to a baby with a pacifier, cooling down, calming down and using it as a tool to chill out, it's our grown-up equivalent, or at least one of our grown-up equivalents. And what it does is it regresses us back into that childlike state so we can reconnect in that soothing, forgiveful place. Okay, so we're now going to take this behaviour and apply it to courtship and interpersonal communications. I really do need to make it clear that I'm speaking so far on a isolated behaviour, okay? One word of a sentence, one part of a picture. You need to see clusters of behaviour and absorb the whole body to really get a depth of insight as to what is going on, okay? So you want to subscribe to my channel and keep in touch with the information I give out to further submerge yourself within this world of non-verbal understanding. Alright, so I just need to make that clear. Now, regarding the pacifying behaviour, if she's nervous, anxious, and she starts soothing herself, that's not necessarily a bad thing. To spark nervous energy in the relationship period, especially the initial stages, is actually quite beneficial. She's going to want to put her best foot forward, and she might be hypersensitive to that, so in reaction she might need to pacify herself. But it's up to you to decide as to whether that's the case or whether she's soothing herself because she's nervous, because you're coming on too strong, or you're being creepy, okay? So what I'm going to go into now is how to identify some small clusters. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the whole picture, but I'm going to talk about the playing of the hair and what to pay attention to as far as sexual elements and the body language of attraction when it comes to this behaviour. If you're communicating with a woman and she strokes her hair, possibly her wrists may face outwards rather than inwards. And if her wrists are outwards, she feels safe around you, okay? The wrists are very delicate and they're not exposed to potential threats and predators, okay? So pay consideration to that. Not only that, but the wrists being sensitive, like the neck, are an erogenous zone, a highly sexual charged area, okay? So she's exposing that delicate part of her, essentially a sign of submission. It's a submissive gesture. Now, alongside the wrist, what she may do is if she brushes the hair or places the hand around the neck and exposes the neck, that's another blatant telltale sign that she may be attracted to you, as she's exposing an even more delicate area. So you're not threatening enough for her to conceal her vital parts. She wants to expose them to you as a sign of submission. It's a very sexually charged subconscious behaviour. What you need to regard as well is that we have evolved to pay serious attention to the hands. We used to walk on all fours. Then we started walking upright. And as we started to walk upright, our hands became weapons, okay? So our brain developed to pay serious attention to the hands and what the hands are doing. So as her hand raises and exposes her neck, that movement subconsciously alerts us to that erogenous zone. It's a sign of feminine sexuality and submissiveness. So as she lifts the arm to stroke the hair, she exposes her armpit, which releases pheromones. Okay? A very potent natural means of attracting a sexual partner. Alright? Now, just to re-clarify, the stroking of the hair is a self-soothing behaviour. We call it a pacifying behaviour. Why? Because as babies we suck on a pacifier to calm ourselves down. When we grow up, we don't suck on pacifiers anymore. But we're still hardwired to find a means of soothing ourselves when we feel uncomfortable or anxious. In dating and relationships, anxiety isn't a bad thing. And we self-soothe as a means of regressing back to that childlike state as to where we initially felt this experience, such as the mother, the father, the friend stroking the hair of the child. When the hair is stroked, pulled at, fidgeted with, it provokes nerve endings on the scalp, which releases positive endorphins into the brain. When the hair is being played with, pay attention to where the wrist is facing. Is the wrist inwards, secure, or is the wrist outwards facing towards you? A sign of frailty, femininity, submission, sexuality, comfort. Is the wrist facing you? Is the hand near the neck? Is the hand being used to move the hair away from the neck, exposing the erogenous area of the neck? What clothes are being worn? Is the armpit exposed? Okay. Are you being a creep? Are you being a weirdo? Is she self-soothing because you're making her feel very uncomfortable in a very unattractive manner? Has she had a hard day at work? Has she got work on the mind, and is she self-soothing because of that? Is she self-soothing because she has stuff to do and you've pulled her up to talk about nonsense? Are you educated on what else to look for other than the stroking of the hair, the pacifying behaviour? If you still need to see clearer, pay attention, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for paying attention. This is Everyday Superpower. I'm signing out. Goodbye.